Hi, all of you. Today it's September 8th, 2024, and on this video I'm going to show you my Atari computer, the one that I had since 1984. 40 years. I've had this for 40 years, and it's on my YouTube right now. This is a video I put up on YouTube from back in 1989. So yeah, I'll show you a little, just preview a little bit. Well, on this video here, I bought this disk drive for this computer, for this Atari, and I was so excited about it. I was so excited about getting it. And this is my computer from 1989. There's the computer. Look at this brand new disk drive there. Shit, brand new, man. And then I was already transferring all the stuff from my old. If you want to watch this, it's on my YouTube. I was so excited about it. I was so excited about it. This is me using the disk drive. It was brand new at the time.
The 13th of 89. The recording they just seen two.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it. Look at this. Yeah, that's my computer from 1989. So here you have it. Like near about 35 years later. Yeah, that video was from 35 years ago. But this is the disk drive that I bought back then, you know. This is the disk drive I bought 35 years ago. And it still works. Still works like a charm. But in the video, like the disk drive was a very light color. It was like this color, more lighter than this. But the discoloration happened with age, apparently. You know, it's like they got like a brownish color now. But it was actually pure gray. It was pure gray. But anyway, so this is what I have for the Atari. So I had this since 1984. My mom, like the original story about it is like when I went to the computer class in the summer school of 84 and I tried out the Apple computer and I was so excited about it, or I fell in love with it and I wanted a computer. But instead of getting an Apple, because it was expensive to buy them back then, my dad and my mom bought us. It was originally for me and Arnold, because Arnold went to a computer class too, and he was falling in love with the computer too, and he wanted one too. So me and Arnold wanted one for Christmas, so my dad and my mom bought us this one. Now I actually wanted a Commodore, but my dad and my mom just ended up getting us this one instead. So I got this, and then got the monitor, and then like we got the monitor. My mom bought the monitor separately. And it was like $100 at the time, and you could see that the monitor is from 1984, because we're the original owners of that. I'm the original owner of this monitor, because I remember the day that it was brand new. I mean, I remember when all this was brand new, the 1984. But I had a tape recorder. I had a tape recorder dating back at that time, you know, because when I got the computer. Then like later on with the money I got from Christmas that year, 1984, I collected about $60, and that was enough money to buy this. And I bought this tape recorder for it. But you know, I liked it. I was pretty happy with the tape recorder, even though it's not anything as quick as a disk drive. But I mean, I liked it, but I was discovering a lot of problems with it because I kept getting error messages. That was really pissing me off, you know. These error messages I was getting, they were really pissing me off. It was pissing me off, you know. Like, I mean, I had so many problems with this tape recorder, man. I had so many problems. A lot of problems, you know, like but apparently I managed to live through it. I lived through it. I mean, apparently. I mean, I knew how to tweak it a little bit to try to make it work. But man, I tell you, I mean, it was so many problems though. I mean, I tell you, the tape recorder. And I was getting so frustrated that I was beating up on the computer. Like, I was hitting it hard, like getting so pissed off at it. And in those times when it kept giving me errors on the loading, and then I would lose a program, you know. And then I was beating up on the tape recorder more than anything else, you know, like because, and then eventually I broke the thing, beating it up so much, and then, and then they left me with this piece. I mean, and then I managed to still build a load of program just using this only. I mean, well, because I just connected this with another tape recorder. I was able to. You saw the video. I was able to load programs using just this. I mean, this is part of this tape recorder, and I still have it. That's funny that I still have it. So yeah. Anyway, to get on the computer, so I'm gonna turn on the monitor. This one also is a green monitor. And then I remember that the distinct way that it would turn on and turn off. And then I'm going to turn on, well, first I have to turn on the disk drive. And then turn on the computer. And there it is. Wow. Okay, well, the way, it's funny because on the Apple computer, we would type in catalog to get a list on what's on the disk, but this computer is not going to know that. So the way I had to kind of like program it a little bit so I could make it work, so I could do that same thing, But this is what I always did, I typed in this command, and then I would be able to get what's on the disk, That's kind of like the same way as the Apple, but I mean, anyway. So and then there's like the list of programs, and to pick out a program there. Well, let's say Gilbert 1989. I'll run Gilbert 89, and then it'll get the program, load it. See, I made this. I mean, I made this a diary kind of like. Well, just shortly after I bought this disk drive, and I was just so happy about it. I was like so happy about Atari computer. Like I'll show you this story, and show this, all this, and then and then I was talking about the disk drive. And then well, yeah, the computer. Well, I was just estimating the value of these things, but well, I do know that. And then I have my story. I made my story over here, just like on the video. You just saw this on the video here. So yeah, and then and I was just like so happy about this disk drive, And then so yeah, well anyway, so I mean. So this XF551, this is an Atari XF551 disk drive, which I had for 35 years, man. 35 years, and it still works like a charm. Still works like a dream, And then this is the book that it came with. Yeah, I mean, and that was like, I was liking the book, I mean, because it tells me, and then it tells me like about the errors, like all the error messages, like what. Like on this computer, like instead of giving me a specific name of the error, like syntax error, for example, it doesn't say syntax error. Instead, like it's gonna do that instead, error, and then it's gonna point out what it did not understand. But like let's say that you go to let's say you try to. Like you do that, and then it's gonna give you an error like that. Like it'll give you a code, and then that's where you're supposed to go over here and find out what that code is. In this case, a line not found. I would give a code. This Atari would do that. The Atari would give a code instead of the name of the error, but the Apple would give you the name of the error or what the error is. But on the Atari, I mean. Yeah, on the Atari, it would give you just a code instead. I mean, yeah, so yeah. And then, well, anyway, I'm gonna go with this computer. I'm gonna do a basic. It does have the same commands. Some of them. Well, let me see. It does have the same commands as an Apple. List to list a program, and to list a program. And then it does not it does not have the home command, but instead, on this computer, there's no command that we could type in. Instead, we push shift, and then clear to clear the screen. Push shift and clear to clear the screen. Yeah, there's no, like, on the Apple, it doesn't have that, a way of doing that, like pressing 2 buttons to clear the screen. But on this computer, that's how we do that with this computer. But on the Apple, we would type in home, like that, and to clear the screen. But of course, this computer doesn't know that command. So anyway, and it did have the same commands. New to erase the program. List. I'm just gonna list it, and then I'll type in new, and then it erased the program. Now if I try to list it, it's not gonna list anything. And then I want to clear the screen. So yeah, and then it had the same basic things, you know, like the basic things that we used to do. But on this computer, if you wanna print the screen, like if you wanna print the screen, oh, hang on, how do we do this? Okay, well, on this computer, this is what we would do to clear the screen. And then on this computer, we would press escape, and then shift and clear, and then it would give us the error, or the arrow, give you the arrow. And that's the command to clear the screen when you program the computer. And then 20, print, what's your name? And then 30, input, put A string. 40, print. Well, like with all computers, any computer, we just would use a question mark for the print command, or we could just do print. But it was always quicker if I used the question mark. Print, how are you? And then a comma, it would be a semicolon, and then A string, and then 50, and then so okay, now we're gonna run this program. And then when we want to run it, we type in run, and then there we go, and there's my name. I'm gonna type in my name. Oh, okay, I got an error right there. That's a code. So this code right here. Yeah, the one thing that I didn't like on the Atari computer is that we had to put a dim statement, a dimension statement, to reserve space in the memory for this A string here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. 15. Let's see, and then this is why we used to always go by tens when we're putting line numbers, so that way in case that we have to put something in there. In that case, I'm gonna put dim on this Atari. This is how we do such a thing, and then quotations and say 10. I mean, like that's reserving 10 bytes of space for this A string. And then now we could run the program again. Okay, Gilbert. And then it said, and then there you go. Well, anyways, to show you more around about the accessories that I have on it. But before I do that, though, well, this is like some of the books. This is like the instruction. Well, this, yeah, owner's guide. This was the owner's guide. And then this for the 1050 hard drive, or the disk drive that I used to have. And I mean, I had, but I sold them because I didn't need them, because I had this one, you know, I had this one. And then this is like the different Atari computers that were available. See, I remember this. I mean, I remember this, but see, the Atari 600 XL, it's just like this one, but this one has a smaller memory. It has 16 kbytes instead of not megabytes, or not even gigabytes either. Not even gigabytes. It's K. It's K, 16K. And then this is the one that I have, which was a 64K, which is known to have 64. And then this one was a bit better, a bit more advanced. I think this one was advertised to have a what do we call that? A speech synthesizer, like a computer that could talk. And then this is a very fancy one with a built-in disk drive. You know, I thought this was really cool. I felt like this was cool. The 14, yeah, I remember these things. And then these are the accessories that was available on this, you know. And then, of course, the disk drive, and this is what I had, and I hated it. I hated that program recorder. And then all the little things available. They even had a little touch tablet. I didn't even know they had things like that. And then this is a modem. This was a modem, you know. This was a way of being able to keep in touch. This was like an internet. This was basically like an internet right here. I mean, if you had your phone, you were able to communicate with other people who had an Atari computer. They had this type of thing back then, you know. The internet, it was like an internet back then. Modem, if you remember that. Yeah. Remember the modem stuff, you know, like where you could talk to other Atari computer users and stuff, yeah. And then this is like the games. I get the games that I had. These are games, yeah. That's interesting. Some of the games that was available. Atari Rider. And then, well, like, I have this game. Dig Dug. Well, I don't have some of these games. Well, I have Asteroids. Well, we can easily buy these games on the eBay, I mean. And then pull position. All the things that was available. All these things that was available and stuff. Yeah, so yeah. And that's that. But, you know, in my days, you know, like I mean, during the times that I had my computer, like I really loved my computer. I really loved this during my days. I was 15, 16 years old when it peaked. And then you like, my friend, like we had a neighbor who used to bring the, who used to have games, like, because I had a neighbor who had a computer like this one too, for like, just like us. And then he brought this game, and I loved this game, man. I loved this game. There's one game I really loved, you know. So, yeah, I love that game, man. So I loved this game, man. Here's another game that my neighbor had, and then I will love this game too. I like the music on this game. And then this game right here, we bought this game going on to like 1986, around 1986. I remember this game kind of brings back memories. Kind of basic game, you know. Final Orbit. This game was sort of fun, I mean. And then this game right here, Frogger. I bought this one back in '86, and I loved this game. And I'm the original owner of this cartridge from 1986. I loved this game, man. Yeah, I love this game, man. Yeah. Shit. And then, of course, I like, but all of these games, I collected these over time, over several years, like in the 90s. I collected these in the thrift stores. I got these in the thrift stores. Yeah. Space Invaders, and then these are like stuff that is not games, but, and then, during my days of my Atari, like, I loved whenever I could get a new game. And this is like some things that I got at the thrift store. I mean, I found these in the thrift stores. But when I was a kid, I mean, like during my times when when the what do you call that? When I had the neighbor, he used to bring books like this, and then he asked me to type in some of these programs, and I was more than happy to do it because I wanted new stuff. I wanted to have new stuff on that computer. So yeah, I mean, so he would always bring me a book, and then he would want me to type in the program that's in these books. Like they used to, like all of these books had some kind of like program, like this one here. You would type it in, we type in these programs, these magazines and stuff. Yeah, we would type in the programs, but I used to spend a lot of time on this, and I mean, it used to take me days, man, days to do this, like sometimes I would spend like almost a week typing in a program, and I have this game, I typed in this program, so yeah, I was more than happy to go ahead and type in the program. He gave me the book, loaned me the book, and then I would type in the program, and then I had the offer to give him a copy and then everything. So yeah, yeah, I have this game. I typed in this game. This was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And while I'm at it, I could just show you what the inside of this computer looks like. I took this thing apart quadzillion times when I was a kid because I was fascinated with the way the chips looked in there. I did this so many times, and I have quite a story behind all this, like this. I know that I used to beat up on this computer all the time because it would piss me off when the cassette programs would not load up. And then there was one time like that I wanted to experiment something, and I decided to just throw this in the water, like just not while it was plugged in, of course, but I threw it in the water, like I threw it like in the bathtub full of water, and I just left it there for about maybe a whole day, and then I took it out, and then I let it dry. Decided to let it dry out a little while, and then I turned it on, and apparently it still worked. It worked. No problem, yeah, it's funny. So yeah, and then so during the times when I had that computer, well, when I got that disk drive, I was so excited about it, and then I transferred all of those cassettes onto the disk. And then of course I have a bunch of programs that I made. I have a bunch of programs that I made. I'll show you some of them. So while I'm at it, and then while I'm at it, during my days, so like in my days, in the computer class, I took, well, not in 1984, but the next year I went to a computer class and I got this book, yeah, and this was a school book, and then I got this, and then we would be like learning to do the computer and stuff, and that kind of stuff, how computers work. I had another class about it. I was pretty excited about, And then this book, I created this book for myself. I created this. And then all the cassette programs, I wrote down all the programs that I had and what cassette I had it on. And I had a lot of programs. I made so many programs, and I made a lot of programs over the years. Because I loved my computer, man. I loved my computer. Yeah, and then, yeah, I loved my computer, man, I tell you, so, and then, of course, this was talking about my camcorder, my Fisher Price camcorder and stuff, yeah, and then, I created this graph because I like to use the graphics. I like to use the graphics on the Atari and well on everything, you know. Yeah, and then and then I typed in a few programs, you know. Like I actually wanted to I actually wrote down all these programs. That's crazy that I actually had the demonstrating. Yeah, I mean I made this personal book with the moving car and yeah, rad graphs. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I actually made this personal book, you know, this was my personal book that I made back in my day. And then gonna demo some programs run. Okay, I remember said like all these programs. Some of these programs I made myself, and some of them like I got it from a book. I had a lot of them, man. Like I had a bunch of programs. Like for an example, what's an example? What can I show an example? Let's see. Well, I want to show you an example of a program that I made. Well, there's like in 1984. Let's see. I'll just run a program that I made myself. Like this. I'll just try to find a program I made myself. Let's see. I'll just run 87 pizza. This is a program that I made, that I personally made for this computer. When I went, at the point when I got really good at it, it was at this point that I was getting really good at the computer. And so I was able to do the graphics and stuff. Well, that was me. I mean, I programmed all this. I wanted to make it look cool, you know, like, and then what did I remember? Well, I remember medium pepperoni pizza. And then it gave me, I programmed this. I thought I was being cool. I felt like it was fun doing this, you know. I did even the taxes too, making it look pretty professional and stuff. And then I typed in $5 and I got my 97 cents and change. And then I made the program really cool. And then I said, yeah, I want to do something. And then I programmed this. It took me probably about a week to make this program, you know. Yeah, I'll just do line doodling. Okay, and then this was cool. I thought this was really cool because I was able to use a joystick, you know. I was able to use a joystick on this, you know. I programmed this, you know. I thought this was really cool. You know, like being able to program like me drawing lines and stuff, you know, like with the joystick. I thought that was neat, you know. And then return to stop. Return to stop. Yes. And then I did a math quiz. That's interesting. 9 plus 17. That was 26. 11. That's interesting. 32. 21. 24. 26. Make music sounds. It's telling me that the order is ready. No. No. There you go. They told me that my order was ready. Oh, my budget. Where? Huh, this is what my budget looked like. I was making about $600 a month in my days. So as you can see, these are all the discs, the floppy discs. So yeah, I mean I had these floppy discs. So yeah, Tandy. Yeah. You know, it's funny because like when we're comparing this computer with this one, you know, it doesn't even come close to this one here. Yeah, it doesn't even come close. And so if you want to see my other videos about the computer, well, let me see. I'll tell you which ones they are. Well, you just go like you could go to this one, Gilbert 1989 disk drive. And then my computer, my this program, yeah. So yeah, well, okay. Well, I hope you liked this video about my computer, my Atari, which I still have. Well, maybe I should demo more programs on this. I'll just do a couple more demonstrations. Well, apparently this disc right here, I dedicated this disc to the games. For my games, all the game, you know, the little game programs I was telling you about. Yeah. Then right here, I typed in all this myself, like for instructions on how to use this. These are the games that I have. All the games that I had. Tiles, I remember Tiles, that was a fun game. Nightshade was a fun game. Shade, it's actually called Nightshade. I loved the game Robot. And then Warm Squirm. I loved those games. And Jackpot, Hermit, Leaping Larry. And Marble, that's the game I was talking about. Run. I'm trying to remember what this game was about. Trying to remember what that game was about. See, I spent hours and even days and days, man, to type in that program, man. A marble. Oh, okay, I remember this. Oh, I remember that now. I love this game, man. Yeah, you had to catch the marbles on the right color and bin. And if you collect it in the wrong bin, you die. Yes. Yeah, if you collect it in the wrong bin, or if you don't catch it at all, then I remember this game. I love this game, man. Yeah, I like that game, man. List, and then you know all of these programs. I spent days typing in these things. But I was more than happy. I mean, I was really happy. I mean, I was more than happy to go ahead and type it in. I didn't care. I mean, in fact, I probably even wrote down the date when I wrote. Yeah, okay, it says it right here. The day I made the program, 1987. Yeah, I love that program, or the game anyway. I'm gonna check out another game. Just watch another game I loved, you know, Rafferty Run. I remember I liked that game, Rafferty. Well, I'm gonna run Nightshade. Well, it's like a word game. Yeah, I mean, I really love that game, man. Like Nightshade, and then well, it's like you'll see what it is. I'll show you what it is. I mean. Well, it's not, we don't use a joystick or anything. It's just a word. Basing it on words. I mean, like, we would just, like this, you know, they would tell us that we're in Danny's bedroom, and then these letters would tell us which ways we can get out. And then we type in a command, you know, like it's gonna be usually 2 words, like say, go bed. Well, you cannot say go to bed because the computer is not going to know what you're saying, you know, because it has to be simple. And so he goes to bed, and then the up, getting up, the exits, left, get, book, and then he gets the book. And then we could type some simple commands like look at the book, but in this case I would put look book. The last page is missing, and then look. If you want to look at something or investigate, you type in simple things. You know, like that. I don't know. Like the goal on this game here was to try to find the last page of the book, and then talk to. I'll just try to talk to Troll, and then he runs behind the clothes. Move, and then we could type in move stuff. We could move stuff, but because well, in this case we could move clothes, and then he sees a strange, and then he sees a door, and then we're supposed to go into that door. Go glowing. We had to specify which door. I mean, and then he's outside now. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, anyway, so that was just a quick demonstration of the program, and it shows right there when I made this program, 1985, 40 years ago. Yeah, this program took a long time for me to type in, man. Took a long time, man. Yeah, I think I probably took about a week to type this in, you know. Yeah, I tell you. But it looks like a very complicated program. A lot of these programs are always pretty complicated, you know. Very complicated to type in, I could tell you. I mean, yeah, so, yeah. I hope this video is not getting too long now. I mean, yeah, it's a very long program, too. I mean, okay. Well, I think I finished. See, as you can see it, I finished on December 3rd, 1985. And I started. Oh, actually, I fixed something. It was something that. Oh, wait a minute. Well, anyway, well, so I thought I would. Well, I'll just end it with one more program. Well, okay, well, I hope you liked this Atari computer video, and I hope I didn't make it too long now. So, okay, well, I guess that's my video for the day, and I'll see you on the next video. And this was my demonstration of my computer, Atari computer. So, all right, I'll see you on the next video.